Siddick Elaheebocus is a quadrilingual technology strategist, trainer, and the founding CEO of the INNOVISION, a multi-regional IT services company providing digital advisory, professional services, and training. With 19 years of international experience in the IT industry, Siddiq has occupied several positions in the educational and training field as trainer, lecturer, program coordinator, subject matter expert, and management consultant. He is also a long-standing Microsoft certified trainer for the past 16 years, a frequent technology speaker, and an ex-MCT regional lead. Thank you for attending our conference. This conference is being recorded. If you have a question for the speaker, please use the Q&A function to ask a question, and our speaker will ask them at the end. Stage is yours, please. Please unmute yourself, Siddiq. Thank you. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Thank you for the introduction, and hello everybody, and thank you for joining me in this session. As you know, experiential learning is an important aspect in today's learning and training landscape. With this in mind, in this session, I'm going to share with you some best practices in experiential learning out of my personal experience to ensure that your next experiential learning becomes more successful. Before I move any further, I would like to tell you who am I and what we do. I am Siddick Elaheebocus, and having occupied several positions within the IT industry, I am a technology strategist, a technical trainer, and a technology speaker with nearly 18 years of international experience within the field of IT, and also I am the founding CEO of INNOVISION. As part of our services, we provide technical and strategic digital advisory, professional services, and training to enterprises of all sizes. Within three core areas related to our expertise, which are data center modernization, workplace modernization, and security modernization. Within the data center modernization area, we concentrate mainly around a physical data center, software-defined data center, hyperconvergence up to edge computing. Within the workplace modernization, we concentrate on modern desktop, enterprise mobility, including SD-WAN and remote working, among others. And lastly, on security modernization, we concentrate on concepts like zero trust, endpoint and cloud security, up to information protection and classification. Before moving on with this presentation, I would like to share with you some figures related to my experience within the training industry. 4 is the number of languages in which I conduct training normally. 6, it's the number of roles that I've occupied up to now within the training field. As IT trainer, lecturer, program coordinator, subject matter expert, I am a long-standing MCT. It's been nearly 16 years. And also I was an ex-MCT regional lead for some time. And also 12 is the number of years of experience I have today with applied experiential learning. And that's what I will try to share with you today within this session. I will try to share really my experiences around experiential learning. 15 is the number of countries where I've worked up to now. 18 is the number of combined years of experience I've got in IT training. And 1,000 plus, it's the number of students I've trained worldwide. So based on these figures, that's why during the next 25 minutes, I will try to cover with you 4 important aspects. The first aspect I will cover is all about the challenges of learning in today's world. Then I will move on with just scratching the surface of two very powerful methods of learning, which are experiential learning and also immersive learning. Then I will proceed with sharing some best practices in experiential learning to ensure that your next experiential learning is more successful. And finally, we will end with a moderated Q&A session before we close. Just for information, before I move any further, being in the IT field, most of the example I will take and things that I will share with you will be naturally centered around information technology. So most and many of the things that I will talk right now, you will be able to use it within other fields and within other streams as well. So let's start by talking about the modern challenges to learning. We are today in a knowledge-driven economy where knowledge is a must and not a plus. One of the challenges we have in this technology-driven world is the very fast pace at which Hello, I hope you are still.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. There was a small glitch. I'm sorry for this. So, can you see my slides right now?
Yes, we can.
Good. So, so what I was telling you is that the speed at which obsolescence is hitting not only hardware and software, but also our knowledge. I just want to take a very simple example. Many people are still learning Windows 10, while Windows 11 is already at our doorstep. We are still learning technology X, while technology Y is already available. Alvin Toffler, who is a famous American writer and futurist, he said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Among the challenges, this fast-paced evolution is forcing people to learn new things in a very short lapse of time, unlearn the things they've learned very quickly, and relearn new things as fast as possible. The next challenges, and adding to those challenges, people do not want to learn more in more time, but to learn more in the least time possible. People want to learn the essentials quickly and to be able to apply the gained knowledge as soon as possible. Among the various challenges, these three challenges have shown one thing: the limits of traditional learning methods. These challenges are also among the contributing factors which are widening the skill gap today, mainly in the technology sector. In order to address these modern challenges to learning, we need modern methods to learning. And that's where I would like to talk about some few methods that have been developed to address the modern challenges to learning. For example, today, we do have things like serious gaming or role play, which has been developed as training methods to address modern challenges to learning. But what I am going to share with you right now are two proven methods when blended together provides the most most effective learning method as per my personal experience. The first method is experiential learning. Now, as the old saying goes, experience is the best teacher. Experiential learning is all about that. It is not learning by doing. I've seen many people trying to summarize experiential learning just by saying it is learning by doing. It's more than this. It is the process of learning through experience and learning through reflection on doing. So, as I always say, practice never makes someone perfect. Perfect practice makes someone perfect. We have all learned to walk or talk not by being shown or told, but by practicing and refining our technique. This is what experiential learning is all about. Consequently, trainers and facilitators can implement this method in all sorts of situations with people from all walks of life. That's the first method. The second method I want to talk about is the immersive learning method. Now, what is immersive learning? Immersive learning utilizes augmented, simulated, or purely artificial environments for learners to experience scenarios and simulations. This method engages the learner in the whole process of learning by simulating near to real life scenarios or situations. Now, where things becomes extremely interesting is that when you combine together experiential learning and immersive learning, this can become a very effective learning method where the learner learns through experience and applying what they've learned in an active environment. So experience learning alone is good, but what I've seen by experience, when you combine it with immersive learning, then you start having a very excellent result. Now, this combined methods also today overcomes most of the challenges related to modern day learning, which we have talked about earlier. So these are again, the two methods which I believe today are really the winning formula in doing what we call modern training and modern learning. But what I would like to also share with you, it's also some best practices. Based on my personal experience, I would like to share with you 5 things which, according to me, are essential elements to ensure successful experiential and immersive learning. The first one is about experience field trainer. Now, hire a trainer who is experienced in the field. Many times, I've seen trainers with near to zero knowledge on a subject matter delivering training out of slides and books. Though the training will be conducted, it will not be highly effective. As I always say, the experience of an experienced trainer will ensure a successful experiential learning. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you as best practice. The second thing out of experience is real life immersive scenarios. This is closely linked to the first point I've mentioned. As far as possible, bring real life scenarios and problems in an experiential learning environment. This will create more impactful learning experience with more engagement from learners. At the same time, the learners will learn from the experience of the trainer. So that's the second point on which I wanted to stress. The third one is a balance of theory and practical. An effective experiential learning must be mostly geared towards practical, but with a mild level of theory. 100% practical training will not be effective, neither 100% theoretical training. I've seen cases whereby trainers say, from day one, from the first minute, we will go practical. No. If you want to be a good pilot, you need to learn the theories, which are as important as the practical as well. A normal balance in experiential learning, as per my experience again, is 60% practical and 40% theory. The fourth best practice I want to share with you is about hands-on lab. Hands-on lab, it's the lifeblood of immersion learning, and it's the lifeblood of experiential learning as well. Ensure that you have a properly configured environment to ensure successful experiential learning. In the past, and based on my experience, I've seen that a lot of time and energy had to be invested into building labs, and ultimately training sessions were becoming troubleshooting parties. Now, thanks to lab providers like XtremeLabs today, who allow us to spin off labs very quickly for hands-on practical, while allowing trainers to do one thing: put their effort in facilitating the experiential learning process. And the last one I wanted to share with you is about sharing your story. Now, when we talk about experiential learning, there's one thing we have to understand as well. In the learning process, learners learn by listening. Share your stories, real life situations, your experiences. Share all these things with your learners. This will not only create more engagement from learners, but also will bring more value to the experiential learning that you are doing. So on my side, these are really the things that I wanted to cover